Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Hello there. It is Tuesday, January 2nd.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. And yes, we're not sure if she's the very first baby of 2024, but 16 seconds sounds pretty hard to beat.
Sure does. Take a look. Say hello to little Penelope.
Aww.
She was born yesterday, 16 seconds past midnight at El Paso's Las Palmas Medical Center.
Look at her little hat, too. So we also got word that Methodist Hospital Metropolitan here in San Antonio celebrated the birth of the first baby of the new year, a beautiful baby boy who was born 30 seconds after midnight yesterday.
That's right. Now, we don't have a picture of him because the family wants their privacy. Congratulations. And to all the other New Year's babies that were born yesterday.
Aw, it's so cute. And it was such a beautiful day yesterday as well to start the year.
Things have changed this morning, and there's Justin Horn. Good morning.
Hey, good morning to you guys. We're excited because we're getting some rain to start the new year. I think we all can agree that rain's a good thing, not only because we need it, obviously, but because it's washing some of the mountain cedar out. Mountain cedar was awful yesterday. We had counts up above 20,000. It's much lower today. Let's start with the radar, though. I want to show you where the rain is right now. We've got some spotty showers starting to affect the western parts of Bexar County. Medina County, you're seeing a few of these showers are moving south to north. We're going to see this activity pick up as the day wears on. And by the afternoon, we have a good shot at rainfall. I don't know that we're going to see just a ton of rain, maybe a quarter to half an inch. But again, any rain at this point is a good thing. And the evening commute could be affected by that, so be aware that there will be some wet roads out there, maybe some puddles here and there. Let's look at the forecast. 47 at 10 o'clock, noontime 48. Here's the other side of this. Clouds, rain, that'll keep temperatures down. We're going to struggle to get up above 50 degrees, so jacket's a good idea to have with you today with the umbrellas. 70% chance of rain. We're going to see those rain chances peak right around dinner time, and then they'll start to decrease as we go into tonight. I mentioned the mountain cedar, 6,540. Look, that's still kind of a ridiculous number, but so much better than it was yesterday. And I suspect we'll see numbers even lower tomorrow because, again, the rain should wash some of this mountain cedar out of the air. That is a good thing. We'll talk about how much rain we could see, where we could get some more rainfall later this week, too. That's coming up here in just a few minutes. But let's get over to RJ now. Starting to see some wet roads. Does that affect the traffic at all?
Not yet, Justin. And good point about weather later on today. Obviously, this is going to be something that many drivers are going to be dealing with maybe on their way home after they get out of work. A lot of people started off their work week, obviously, today. We're taking a look at TransGuide right now. 37 Southeast Military. Traffic moving pretty good throughout most of the parts of San Antonio here. A couple of smaller things just to let you know about. Looking at northbound lanes, Loop 410 at Highway 151. So for our drivers on the west side, something that you might need to kind of contend with, but not causing any major delays. We're going to take you all the way out to the far northeast side now, and had a little bit of trouble spots out here in the Selma, kind of Shirt Cibolo area. We have a stalled vehicle being reported right now northbound 35 at FM 2252. So kind of says something that if you're headed out in those parts of the area, just something to keep in mind. Also keep in mind gas prices, something that we usually talk about earlier in our mornings, but again, a lot of people are starting out their work week, so something to keep in mind. We're looking at $2.70 right now, the average gas price here in the San Antonio area. A little bit higher than Texas. It's usually kind of the other way around, but good thing is we're still 40 cents below the average gas price across the U.S. Now, I just checked earlier this morning, and gas prices have actually gone up about 12 cents from last week. So if you're going to go and fill up right now, this might be a good time because you never know with these gas prices kind of always sort of fluctuating back and forth. One more quick look here. U.S. 90 General McMullen traffic moving pretty smooth throughout our area there. Same here, 281 at San Pedro. Mark and Stephanie, back to you guys.
Thank you, RJ. Well, today marks 1 week since Savannah Soto, Matthew Guerra, and their unborn child were found dead inside a car at an apartment complex parking lot on the northwest side. And yesterday, a vigil was held for 22-year-old Matthew. And the message that was echoed by several people was that he was gone, but not forgotten. John Paul Barajas was at the vigil and takes us through the emotional moments.
Jesus, my pain is so deep, my anger is fierce, and my fear is crippling. As we grieve Savannah, baby Fabian, and Matthew.
Dozens of friends, family, and strangers gathered at Woodlawn Lake to pray, mourn, and show support at a vigil for 22-year-old Matthew Guerra. He and his 18-year-old pregnant girlfriend, Savannah Soto, were killed just before Christmas and right before they were set to have their baby boy.
We thought that I'd be babysitting Fabian for New Year's or something. Me and Savannah talked about so many things we had planned for Fabian.
Plans to make new memories with a grandchild have been ripped away from both the Guerras and Sotos. Now their families are forever linked by tragedy as they seek justice in an ongoing capital murder investigation.
I love you, Matthew. I love Savannah. I love Fabian.
Through the wave of emotions, hugs, and tears, there were some smiles.
The only one in the family that didn't need braces, she said.
Remembering the lives lost and the good times they shared.
Say, Mom, I want some chicken.
The overwhelming message from those in attendance said best by Matthew's dad, Gabriel.
Miss him, and that I'm going to be his voice in this time, and that we're never going to forget him and Fabian and Savannah, and that the love they had for each other.
John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Matthew will be laid to rest next week. His family told us a public viewing is set for Monday at Mission Park Funeral Home located on Southeast Military Drive.
That viewing will be in the evening between 5:30 and 8 p.m. As for Savannah services are still pending.
The investigation into their deaths continues, and SAPD detectives are pleading with the public to speak up if they know anything about the murders. After discovery of their bodies, police released this video of the parking lot. The video shows two people that detectives are describing as people of interest in the case.
If you know something, you can call the San Antonio Police Department homicide detectives at that number on your screen, 210-207-7674, and you can remain anonymous.
In other news, lawmakers return from the holiday break this month with a list of New Year's resolutions to tackle.
Preliminary government numbers show record migration at the southern border in December. And in Congress, both parties say they want to address the border crisis, but Republicans say it has to come first. That leaves Ukraine and Israel desperate for aid.
And that's not the only budgetary battle awaiting lawmakers after the holiday recess. The federal government is running on stopgap funding. Without a deal, it could shut down in about a month.
And with a new year comes new state laws, and Texas has several different laws now in effect after last summer's legislative session.
In today's 9 at 9, we take a look at some of the big ones. One of the biggest changes to Texas state laws is for programs that focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion. The state will no longer allow public colleges and universities to have DEI offices. Schools will not have to do DEI training, and employees who worked in those offices were reassigned.
Texas homeowners and businesses will potentially get thousands of dollars cut from their property tax bills. The $18 billion property tax cut package lowers school district property taxes, which makes up a large share of a landowner's bill. School districts will get just over $7 billion to lower those rates.
Cracking down on vaping and e-cigarettes for minors, businesses can no longer use cartoon characters, celebrities, or images of candy in their marketing to sell e-cigarettes to young teens. It will now be a Class B misdemeanor if they're caught using these types of promotions.
A change for minors charged with Class C misdemeanors. A new law now lets minors who are charged with crimes like petty theft or alcohol possession to enroll in diversion plans instead of being fined.
Property owners associations must now have a formal and transparent policy on how they give fines and other violations to homeowners. HOAs will have to send each property owner a copy of their policies and post them online.
A new bill will require insurance providers to create internet portals that healthcare providers can access to determine what kinds of insurance plans their patients have in order to streamline the insurance process. The secure portal would tell physicians whether the provider is covered by the patient's insurance and the patient's copay, deductible, and co-insurance where applicable.
Texas Senate Bill 10 gives members of the Texas Teacher Retirement System a cost of living adjustment, or COLA. Voters then approved Proposition 9, the cost of living adjustment, in November. Prop 9 authorizes a one-time cost of living adjustment between 2% and 6%, depending on when the teacher retired. Retired teachers haven't received a cost of living adjustment since 2013.
Several new laws loosen requirements on reappraisals for spouses and children who inherit property and switch certain appraisal processes. Senate Bill 1381 allows certain tax exemptions on homes to carry over to a person's spouse after they die if they are 65 years or older. House Bill 4077 removes the need for seniors to apply for homestead exemptions.
Tax relief for some charitable organizations. House Bill 1058 gives tax credits to those that have investments in low-income housing, and House Bill 4645 allows organizations to receive tax exemptions on construction of low-income housing. And those are just some of the new laws in Texas for 2024 in today's 9 at 9. Hope you got all that. There's a quiz at the end of the week. Right now, 9:08, 46 degrees. Still ahead on GMSA at 9.
Scammers have their eyes set on new targets, foreign exchange students and their families. How one Utah teen managed to survive what's being called cyber kidnapping.
Plus, Alamo Colleges has an exciting collaboration with institutions in another country that's helping address the ongoing shortages in the healthcare industry.
And let's look out there with a live cam. Still cold out there. 46 degrees is going to kind of stay coolish all day, but we're going to check in with Justin for all those details coming up.
12 minutes past the hour. Welcome back.
Yes, Tuesday, but it feels like a Monday, well, at least for us.
I don't know what day it is. It's amazing when you get to the holidays, you get all confused. But yes, it is Tuesday.
Yeah.
And we're welcoming some rain back into the forecast, guys. We're starting to see it on radar, and it's going to pick up a little bit more as we head towards the afternoon. So let's get right to it, and I'll show you where the rain is right now. We've got a couple showers already developing. These are light and spotty, but the coverage, as I said, will pick up later today. And I think just about everyone will at least see the chance for some rain. Let's look a little bit closer at some of these showers. Maybe a little bit of a heavier shower there right along 151 near SeaWorld. That is tracking off to the north. And we're seeing more of these kind of just light showers passing through with additional showers starting to develop off to the west. So places like Hondo, Medina Lake starting to see a little bit of rain. And so you're going to start to have to use the windshield wipers if you're going to be out and about next couple of hours. I'm seeing that on TransGuide. If you're not seeing the showers, there's a little bit of drizzle out there too. Here's a look at the forecast. And by midday, shower activity picks up a little bit, maybe out west more so. And then by, say, 3, 4, 5 o'clock, this is when we kind of get into the heart of things with showers. And I think even a few thunderstorms could develop. We have not so much instability where we are at the surface, but up above in the atmosphere, there's some instability. So you can get some of these, what we call elevated thunderstorms, which may produce a little bit of thunder and lightning, no severe weather. And then this will continue to push east as we head into this evening. This is where I kind of think rain chances peak along I-35 and points east, 7, 8, 9 o'clock. And then this pushes away by 10 p.m. and by tomorrow morning, the rain is out of here. But we may start with some patchy fog tomorrow, and clouds will try to hold for at least a while on your Wednesday, and that'll keep temperatures down once again. So you see at noontime tomorrow, still some cloud cover to contend with, and that'll be the case even going into the afternoon. How much rain can we see? This is the big question because we are in such a deficit right now. It's not a lot, 1/4 of an inch, maybe up to 1/2 an inch in spots. I think your higher totals will be east of I-35 as they often are, lower numbers off to the west. But at least, as I said, everyone has an opportunity to see a little bit of rain today. 48 degrees at 11 o'clock, 48 noontime, 40% chance of rain during the lunch hour, and then it picks up to 60% chance. And notice temperatures do not warm much at all today. You'll want a jacket because with the clouds and the rain, it's going to keep temperatures really in check. We'll struggle to get up to 50 degrees. Highest rain chances, I'd say between 6, 7 o'clock. And then as we head into tonight, as I showed you, rain chances will start to taper off. Right now, we've got clouds and drizzle and a little bit of rain coming down. 46 degrees at the airport and in New Braunfels, cooler in Bernie and Kerrville. And the satellite picture shows, plenty of clouds. And they aren't going anywhere today. So it's an overcast, damp day. Here's the upper level low that's spinning out over West Texas, and it's moving a little bit closer. And that's why we're getting the lift and getting these showers starting to develop. It's not just today, though. This is the first storm system. This is the one that brings us rain today. Watch what happens as we get into Friday. Another one pulls in here, brings more rain chances with it, mainly Friday morning. And then behind that, we get yet another storm system. So the pattern is starting to get a little more active. That's what we want to see as we head into 2024. And so rain chances Friday and again Monday too, not only today. So 2 more chances coming up in the extended forecast. Here it is laid out in the 7-day forecast. 58 Wednesday, 59 Thursday. So morning fog both days. Chance of rain early on Friday. Good weekend. We salvaged a good weekend. And then, as I mentioned, another rain chance coming up on Monday. Guys.
Yeah, the weekend does look pretty good. Thank you, Justin. A new cross-border collaboration between educational institutions is addressing ongoing shortages in the healthcare industry.
Tiffany Huertas takes a look at how this Alamo College's district program is creating opportunities.
TecMilenio en México y Alamo Colleges en San Antonio, Texas, se han unido para crear un programa educativo en línea.
This video introduces the launch of the International Nursing Pathway by Alamo Colleges District and TecMilenio, a university in Mexico.
It's a groundbreaking collaboration because it allows for professionals from one country to practice their profession in another country. And you can think about the endless possibilities regionally for partnerships with Mexico and with other countries, perhaps, for solving workforce gaps.
The online program is designed to train qualified nurses from Mexico. It prepares them to take and pass the NCLEX exam, a mandatory requirement to begin the journey to become a registered nurse in the U.S.
They need to have a good level of English because they will have to pass very soon the NCLEX examination. They will have to be graduated from a nurse and they have to have their license in Mexico.
Alejandra Bueno, International Programs Executive Director for Alamo Colleges District, explains the curriculum.
All the green parts are developed by TecMilenio here. And then we come with the other competencies like ethics, healthcare law and regulations, healthcare professional digital badge.
The educational institutions have also partnered with Methodist Healthcare System to provide job opportunities.
They will have to pass the NCLEX examination, and then they're going to have an online interview. If the employer, in this case the Methodist, wants to employ them, they're gonna get their visa, they're gonna come here.
Currently, about 20 students are part of this program, and they hope to add more in the future. Tiffany Huertas, KSAT 12 News.
918, 46 degrees.
And David Sears will be joining us after the break with a look at our morning headlines.
Indeed. Snoop Dogg getting involved in the Olympics. And we have our first edible mascot.
That one was cute. And someone in Michigan is starting the new year as a multi-millionaire. A single ticket in Grand Blanc, Michigan, which is a suburb of Flint, matched all numbers for last night's Powerball drawing. That's worth $842 million. The fifth largest Powerball jackpot and the 10th largest U.S. lottery jackpot ever.
There were also 6 winning tickets that matched all 5 white balls, including one right here in Texas. Congratulations. In your morning headlines, kidnappers don't have to physically kidnap a victim to get paid, and former President Trump is heading to court today.
Plus some doggone coverage of the Olympics and coaches and players just eating up a win at one bowl game, literally. Our David Sears is here with the morning headlines.
Out of all 550 bowl games, this was probably my favorite.
Yeah.
It felt like there were that many, right?
Just because of the way this one ended.
Yeah.
With food.
Food.
Let's start with this, though. It's a new world we live in. Cyber kidnapping. The kidnappers have found a rich but vulnerable target, foreign exchange students and their families. One student ended up camping in the woods in Utah. He was found cold by himself. The cyber kidnappers play both ends. They tell the student and their family that the other is in danger. The student is told to isolate, take some pictures and cell phone video to make it look like they are being held for ransom. The parents fall for it and pay up. The parents of the 17-year-old exchange student hiding in Utah paid $80,000 in ransom.
They are likely targeting, people who are very out of their element, people who are new in a new country, new environment where they're very unfamiliar with law enforcement. They're very unfamiliar culturally.
Investigators trying to trace the money. The student was in the woods for 3 days before police rescued him. One big tip to keep from getting sucked into that scam: cut off communication with the kidnappers right away and then call police. New year, and we are picking up right where we left off when it comes to presidential election. Today, the Trump legal team is expected to file an appeal against being removed from the ballot in Maine and Colorado. The 2 states made the decision based on the 14th Amendment, using that clause that says officials' insurrection disqualified. Trump has several arguments, though. That clause may not apply to the president. The Maine Secretary of State's not a lawyer, but basically made a legal decision, and Trump has never been charged with insurrection or been tried and convicted. NBC's coverage of the Olympic Games in Paris literally going to the dogs this year, as in Snoop Dogg. We haven't seen enough of this guy. Now he's going to be a part of the coverage during primetime programming. He'll be on the NBC network and streaming on Peacock. NBC looking for anything to attract viewers. They're feeling pretty good about Snoop Dogg since the team of him and Kevin Hart took 2021 Tokyo Games by storm. Yep, their commentary, according to one of the NBC officials, says attracted tens of millions of views. So now they're trying to tap into that success one more time. And remember when Pop-Tarts were just a quick, easy breakfast food? Well, they've made the big time now, sponsoring one of the bowl games this season, and yes, being their first edible mascot in bowl history. Friday, Kansas State and North Carolina State took on each other in the Pop-Tart Bowl. Pop-Tart doing all kinds of crazy things, like at the end of the game, got up on the toaster. That's Strawberry, by the way. That's the Pop-Tart's name, or the mascot's names. Player and coaches, after Pop-Tart came out of the toaster, look at them. They're going after it.
Yep.
So there's just some incentive to win the bowl game. You get a Pop-Tart. I'm wondering what, all these guys get a bunch of stuff when they show up to their hotel.
Yeah.
iPods and all kinds. There's a certain amount of money that they can receive in gifts for going to the bowl game. So you got to wonder how many boxes of Pop-Tarts they got.
A whole bunch. Yep.
How cute, though.
That was a memorable one.
That was fun.
So if you win, do you get eaten, or if you lose, do you get eaten?
Either way.
Okay.
Either way.
All right. One of the 550 bowl games that we saw.
Tons of them.
Thank you, David. 9:25, 46 degrees. There is a lot more ahead on GMSA at 9.
Including the latest on the race for president as the Iowa caucuses get closer, what a new poll shows between President Biden and former President Trump, and how the Republican primary presidential candidates are gearing up for Iowa.
The Iowa caucuses are less than 2 weeks away, and yet another poll is showing good news for former President Donald Trump in a possible general election matchup with President Joe Biden.
ABC's Rhiannon Ali has the latest in the race for president.
This morning, a new poll shows President Biden losing ground to former President Trump among Latinos and younger voters. The USA Today Suffolk University survey shows Trump with a 39% support among the Latino demographic, compared to Biden's 34%. Back in 2020, Biden got 65% support from Latino voters. Concerns about the economy and the border have weighed on voters. The poll also finds Trump now leading Biden among voters under age 35, many concerned about climate change and the Middle East.
Are you ready to work hard over these next 2 weeks so that we win the Iowa caucus?
Meanwhile, the Republican primary candidates are making their final push, with the Iowa caucuses now less than 2 weeks away. Trump is leading in Iowa by more than 30 points. Less than 3 points separate Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley.
Donald Trump is running on his issues. Nikki Haley is running on her donors' issues. I'm the only one running on your issues.
DeSantis attacking Haley after her recent rise in the polls, gaining ground on Trump in New Hampshire. That state's Republican governor, who endorsed Haley, is now calling on Chris Christie to drop out to give Haley a better chance against Trump.
Chris Christie's a friend, but his race is at an absolute dead end. This is a two-person race, right? It's between Trump and Nikki Haley.
But the former New Jersey governor is not backing down, recently launching a 7-figure ad campaign.
Some people say I should drop out of this race. Really? I'm the only one saying Donald Trump is a liar. New Hampshire, it's up to you.
The results from the Iowa caucuses will not be known until early March on Super Tuesday. Rhiannon Ali, ABC News, New York.
Let's look out there with live cam for all of you going back to work today. It's going to be a cold one. I mean, it's been cold so far, and I guess it's not warming up too much this afternoon, Justin.
No, we'll be lucky to get up to 50 degrees, I think, at this point. We're in the mid-40s right now, and temperatures are going to basically hold steady today. So it's kind of one of those winter-like days where it's just kind of drizzly and damp and cloudy and cold. Let's look at the radar real quick. And we still got some of these light showers coming through, but regardless of whether or not you're underneath one of these showers, we've got drizzle out there too. So the roads are starting a little bit wet. RJ just let me know that a lot of the TransGuide shots are showing wet roads at this point. And the rain's only going to pick up. So as we head towards the afternoon, expect coverage to be a little more than what you're seeing here. With showers and maybe even a couple thunderstorms. There's a little closer look there at San Antonio. Starting to see some of those heavier showers on the northeast side. Temperatures 45 at the airport, 44 Helotes, 44 Bulverde, 46 in New Braunfels. So pretty uniform thanks to the cloud cover and the rain. In our forecast today, 48 noontime, 40% chance of rain. There you see the rain chances go up 60% by 3, 4, 5 o'clock. I think they'll peak right around dinner time with those temperatures holding in the upper 40s. By the way, wind chills are also in play. Feels like it's in the mid to low 40s out there when you factor in that light wind out of the northeast. So just kind of a cool, wet day. Not the best day as we head back to work and some kiddos head back to school, guys.
Thank you, Justin. Well, the college football national championship is set after a pair of thrilling games that unfortunately ended with a tough loss for Texas.
David and RJ are back to break it all down and look back at that wild Cowboys win as well.
Yeah. Steph, you okay?
Yeah.
She always smiles through the pain.
Yeah.
Why does Justin have a big smile though over there? I think he was as an A&M guy.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I wasn't really against Longhorns at all.
Never, not you.
He's already looking forward to Texas and A&M playing next year. So that's what he's looking forward to. Since neither one of them is in anything now, they're all done. So there you go. So let's start with that Texas.
What a game to begin with here.
Yeah.
This game ended at midnight last night, so props to anyone that stayed up to watch this thing. But we figured, David, it would be a back and forth. Washington and UT both very high-scoring teams.
Yeah, and Texas could never. They were always playing catch-up. Washington scored, Texas would score. Washington scored, so they could never get like the lead and get something established from as far as that goes. And you know it's going to be a long night for Texas. The first play of the game, they get called for illegal procedure.
And this was early on.
And then the first play on their defense, they get called for offsides. They're going, wow, okay, let's settle in and get this thing going. But it was high scoring. I've not watched Washington that much this year. Impressive football team.
Yeah, absolutely. Michael Penix Jr., obviously one of the top quarterbacks in the country, and he really, really kind of had a good handle of that Huskies offense. I think to me, David, that was the biggest surprise is that the Texas defense couldn't get Washington off the field. The time of possession, Washington dominated that. It seemed like anything that they wanted to do. I figured the UT offense would score, but I thought the defense might be able to come up with some bigger plays. They just did not, and as you mentioned, they were playing from behind.
Ewers did not have a good game, but their running game was awesome yesterday. They should have just kept it on the ground most of the time because they were just running it right down Washington's throat.
Yeah,
but,
and David, and all that being said, Texas did still have a chance to win this thing. 15 seconds left. They had made it all the way to the red zone and unfortunately could not get it done there. Some interesting play calling, in my opinion, there from Coach Sark, but you know what? Texas goes down swinging. I mean, it was a great game. Ended way too late, but still.
So now it's Washington and Michigan here are in the final. So here's the problem because Alabama and Michigan went forever. They had to go.
They
to
did,
overtime,
yeah.
So.
We have highlights of this one
We got
too.
a couple of, but you know, we do know that Michigan won it. So wow. Well, I was actually since Alabama's got a lot of my money.
Yeah. There you go. So this one, David, a lot more of a grinded out kind of physical game. We figured that going in here. Alabama here takes the lead late, and then Michigan drives down the field to get a tying touchdown. This thing went overtime. What do you think about the last play of the game here? The final
weird,
call from
very
Alabama?
very strange play call. I thought. I know Nick Saban talked about it after the game. He said it was their 2-point play, and they were on the 3-yard line, so they ran their 2-point play, which was the quarterback running up the middle. But I mean, that hadn't worked hardly at all day, so I don't know why they decided to go with that.
And here it is,
it's like nothing. And
this was after a couple of timeouts that had already been called, so they had a chance to maybe kind of check out what.
I thought he should have rolled out and tried to find a receiver or taken it in because he was doing very well getting out of the pocket and rolling around. But then Michigan goes on to win, so here we go.
All right, so we are
there's
set
your championship
here.
right
Michigan,
there.
Michigan, Washington. There you go. National championship game next week there in Houston. Imagine if UT would have made that game. That would have been. It's another late start here.
6:30. That's not late. Maybe late for you, but and you two over there may be late for you.
Yeah, very late for us.
All right, so let's go to Saturday night. Let's talk Cowboys. Let's talk. Whoa, man, what kind of game was this? All the way down to the end. Hey, you gotta love this guy. Isn't Dan Campbell an Aggie?
He is.
Yeah, man, that guy, he's like, he'll do whatever it takes to win, won't he?
They call him Dan the Man Campbell.
Dan the Man,
David.
look at that.
CeeDee Lamb, definitely the man here. I mean, with the exception of CeeDee Lamb, I don't know where this Cowboys offense would be without him. He has had a record-breaking year for the Dallas Cowboys and really has
over 200 yards receiving. Mm-hmm. He had, I know he had a lot of fantasy points.
Yeah, there you go.
I know that helped out.
Well, here's the final drive, David.
Okay,
Detroit
this is what
this game.
Okay.
Well, they don't tie it. They get within 1 point.
Okay, then finish it out. And here's the play, and here's the controversy. And this is what everybody's talking about. Okay, so did this guy right there that catch the pass, did he check in with the referee and tell the referee that he was going to be eligible? The referee says he did not. But when you look at the tape and you look at everything, it looks like the referee, he did, because he walks over to the referee and the referee's looking at it, and then the referee sees number 70 come in, and that's who he claims said he was eligible, not number 68. So then that's why they went with the illegal touching of the ball, and then they went 2 more times and they couldn't get it, and Cowboys win. And if you're a Cowboys fan, you got to be concerned, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because Detroit drove it right down their throat.
Yeah, back-to-back games.
And if that's straightened out and called the way it should be, Dallas loses.
Yeah.
So Dallas wins because of a controversy, not because of something that they did. It's because of something that the referees and the other team did.
I think
I'm concerned if I'm a
definitely
Cowboys
questions
fan, which
about
I am.
the late game management from Mike McCarthy throwing when they could have just run the ball.
Yep.
And yet the Cowboys get that gift, and then they end up getting the gift of the Eagles losing. So they're now the second seed in the conference. All they got to do to win the division is take care of business this upcoming week against Washington there on the road.
way they played against Miami, the way they played against Detroit at the end of the game is concerning.
Yes.
But if you win, you win. It goes down as a
Don't apologize
W.
for winning, I guess.
Dallas
we'll
is
take
gonna,
them.
This is likely Ron Rivera's last game.
You think so?
Washington. Yes.
All right.
Maybe Washington tries to play spoiler here, but Dallas win, you get the second seed.
All right. Real quick, the Texans, believe it or not, still have a shot at the playoffs because of the way things happened this weekend as well. Texans will play the Colts next week after they won this weekend against the Titans. C.J. Stroud was back. This kid, if he's not the rookie of the year, he should be in the MVP conversation, really.
Yeah, he will be.
I mean, he obviously should be rookie of the year, but I mean, he's had some kind of season, and the Texas defense is tough. All they got to do next week is beat.
That's it.
The Colts, and they're in the playoffs with a rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback. Believe that? How great is that?
Texans win, and you are in. They're on the road here at Indianapolis. Of course, Colts, same situation. They need a win, so that's why this game is getting the primetime treatment there on a Saturday night. But Houston has already had a pretty incredible season.
Yeah, but let's finish it off with a win and get in the playoffs.
All right, David.
Speaking of
Spurs,
playoffs, team that's not going to be in the playoffs.
Wow.
Look at Steph. That's like,
You're beating up all my Longhorns and my Spurs.
Wow.
Hey, I didn't beat them up. Everybody else is, though. Everybody, the other team in the league is beating them up.
Yeah. No Keldon Johnson for that game on New Year's Eve. Zach Collins is out for another couple of weeks. So I think we do get KJ back. The Spurs need all the help they could get here. It's been rough going. I think now this is 7 out of 8 games that they've lost.
You know, usually when the Spurs were winning all those championships, people really didn't start paying attention until like January or February. So if that holds true, if people aren't really paying attention to the Spurs until January, February, now that the college football season is basically over, the Cowboys, in the playoffs, and we'll see how that goes. And then all these fans are going to wake up and go, huh? What? They got the number 1 pick and they've got 5 wins? What happened? What did I miss?
This is definitely worth a whole more discussion but for now.
Yeah, we're paying attention.
Spurs at Memphis tonight. John Moran is back for the Grizzlies.
David, did I hear you say this morning the Spurs will be lucky to win? How many games did you say?
They may not win as many as they won last year. Remember, last year they only won 22. They may not win that many this year.
Yeah.
They're, what is it? 9 games shy of being halfway through the season, and they have 5 wins, and that's it.
Yikes.
9 more games,
Hard
and
to
they're
believe
halfway through the
with
season.
Wemby coming in and what we were hoping to see from some of these other guys. So that's tough. But hey, maybe they turn it around tonight.
Yeah. Go Spurs, go.
Make those Spurs go. And we made it 2 days into the year without having to use David's soapbox. No Rams today.
Ready to go.
Oh, not yet.
There's always tomorrow. Thank you, guys. 9:41, 46 degrees. You're watching GMSA at 9.
And we have to take a quick commercial break, but we'll be right back with weather.
Steph, should we go to the zoo?
Let's go to the zoo.
All right, let's check out Hippocamp.
Aww.
You're meeting the only people who've made resolutions to gain weight this year.
The hippos.
The hippos at the zoo. They don't worry about that kind of stuff. Always a great day to go to the zoo. They're back on normal hours, by the way, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. open, rain or shine.
That is true.
Just chilling in the pool.
I got to see the hippos last week. Thank you, our producer Alex, for being a tour guide. I went to the zoo and I got to see not this shot that we normally see. She's like, this is what we normally see. And so there's the, well, I would say underground, but right? I guess
well, you look under the
underwater
water,
shot. Yeah. So we got to, see them messing around. I'm like, oh, look, I'm like, we've seen you on TV.
I know them.
Is a tour guide there? Alex, our producer, works part-time
job.
Oh.
Well, she doesn't work there,
She's
but
busy.
She was my personal tour guide.
Nice.
So thank you.
Very
It was
nice.
very nice.
She's good at handling a zoo. She's used to it. So
Yeah.
anyway.
We appreciate you.
Yes, the zoo, rain or shine. So there will still be people there today. There's no doubt about it. And it's not maybe the best day, but it's always a good day to go to the zoo, right? We've got some showers and some cooler weather out there. We'll get to that in just a second. First, let's talk about January. 63 is the average high when we start the month. Average low is 41. So this is our coldest time of the year. When you're talking about the numbers. Now, as we head towards the end of the month, the average high warms to 65, the average low is 42. So we do actually start warming towards the end of January. But it is a month of extremes. We can get as high as 89. That we saw that on January 30th, 1971, and as cold as our coldest low ever, 0, January 31st, 1949. So as we go to the radar right now, yes, it'll be chilly today, but not that cold. We've got some showers that still continue to move across the city of San Antonio. Some maybe producing a little bit heavier rain, but these are very, very small showers around Windcrest and working north towards 1604. And then another little shower down there near Atkins. And as I said, as the day wears on, you're going to see the radar get a little more active with more showers and maybe even a thunderstorm a little bit later this afternoon. But right now, still kind of few and far between. With that being said, we've got drizzle to contend with as well. So it's just going to be damp. Here's a look at the forecast. As we get towards noontime, more showers developing, more out to the west as well, and then they kind of consolidate a little bit. So around 5 o'clock, I think our rain chances come up, and this is where we could see some rumbles of thunder. Even to 7, 8 o'clock, rain, a pretty good bet. But at this point, it's starting to move east of I-35. So along and east of I-35 this evening, rain chances will be fairly high. And then by 10 o'clock, this is starting to push east out of our eastern counties. And then we get the chance to clear out a little bit tomorrow. Now, we will probably start off with some fog on your Wednesday, and then clouds try to stick around. And as long as those clouds are there, it's going to stay fairly cool. No rain tomorrow, but maybe some partly to mostly cloudy skies. Here's a look at the rain chances today. We do bring them up to 40% noontime. And then between 2 and 5 o'clock, 60%. Then we bump them up a little bit, again, right around dinner time. So just be prepared for that threat for rain. It's not going to add up to a whole lot, 1/4 of an inch maybe, some places 1/2 an inch. That's going to be about it. It's generally going to be pretty light, but it will keep temperatures down. Highs today only around 50 here in San Antonio, 40s in the hill country. And there will be a wind chill probably most of the day too, so it's definitely jacket weather. Outside right now, 45 with rain coming down. Northeasterly winds at 10, and there is a look at the wind chill. Feels like 40 right now. Feels like 37 Bernie Stage, 43 in Comfort. So yeah, it's chilly. It's chilly, and I don't expect those numbers to change all that much. Water vapor imagery shows that we do have a spin in the atmosphere right over El Paso. That's our low that is moving east at a pretty good clip. So that's what's giving us our lift. And as it gets a little bit closer, that's when rain chances increase a little bit. So we've got this storm system, and that quickly moves east. Behind that, we get another one. This moves in on Friday, brings us some showers Friday morning. And then behind that, we get yet another one. A good weekend, but this low moves in on Monday. So it's starting to get a little more active, and that's what we like to see. We'd love to get more rain than we did last year here in 2024. So 50 today, 58 tomorrow, 59 Thursday. There's that chance of rain early on Friday, 40%. We get a good weekend with temperatures in the 60s, and then another chance of rain on Monday, 30% chance. So this looks a little bit better than it has looked in previous weeks. I enjoy having rain to talk about in the 7-day forecast.
We'd love to have more of this throughout the year.
Agreed.
Yeah, overall. Thank you, Justin.
Just about 10 till 46 degrees out there.
And when we come back, a look at some of the new movies coming out this year.
Despite the Hollywood strikes of last year, many major movies are lined up to arrive in theaters this year.
CNN's Rick Damigella gives us a look at some of the movies coming out during the first half of the year.
Reggae is a people music. People coming together.
2024 gets off to a grooving start with Kingsley Ben-Adir starring in Bob Marley, One Love. The biopic rises onto movie screens on Valentine's Day.
If you want to live, you have to trust me.
Also opening on Valentine's Day is Madam Web, starring Dakota Johnson in an origin story about the Marvel Comics heroine.
I am Paul Wajima Trades, Duke of Arrakis.
Timothée Chalamet returns to the screen in the second chapter of Denis Villeneuve's adaptation of Dune. Dune Part 2 arrives March 1st.
Being the Dragon Warrior, it's who I am. What do I know about being a spiritual leader?
Jack Black is back as the voice of Poe when Kung Fu Panda 4 leaps into theaters March 8th. Who you gonna call when a paranormal chill freezes New York City? They're still ready to believe you when Ghostbusters Frozen Empire rolls into theaters March 29th. April 12th sees two Titanic movie monsters teaming up against a new menace as Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire stomps into cinemas.
I'm the director.
We're gonna set this man on fire.
You're a stunt guy. We need to keep it super professional.
Profession's my middle name.
Ryan Gosling trades in his Ken outfits for stuntman gear when The Fall Guy explodes into theaters May 3rd.
I'm Furiosa!
The darkest of angels.
May 24th marks the beginning of Memorial Day weekend, and Hollywood is looking to fill theaters with a triple threat of major movies. From Furiosa, a Mad Max saga,
You want a little more?
to the animated adventure The Garfield Movie.
That is not everything.
And Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Hello! Oh my gosh, I'm anxiety. Where can I put my stuff?
A new emotion!
And just in time for the kids to be out of school, Pixar's Inside Out 2 arrives in theaters June 14th. Ordering an extra large popcorn in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Some other movies currently scheduled to release in the new year include Deadpool 3, Gladiator 2, and the Joker sequel co-starring Lady Gaga is called Joker Folie à Deux.
Oh.
It's French.
Oh, that should be a good one, and I've been hearing a lot about that one, but we have plenty of time to watch all of these movies.
There's some good ones coming out. Yeah. So I guess they had a bunch of these ready to go, and now we are post-strike. They're going to go right into the theaters.
That's true, because I've seen some previews, over last year, I guess now, 2023.
Yeah.
And now we have our options. What's your first pick?
Let's see. I kind of want to see the Joker sequel.
Yeah, I think I'm there with you.
And Gladiator 2. But no Russell Crowe.
Oh, I know.
Maybe a flashback.
It'll be a little bit of difference. Bye, guys.